Hola, buenas. ¿Qué tal estáis? Mis amigos, mis amigas. Y más a Veliguar. Nada, amigos. Después de la movida del otro día que tuvimos aquí, con dragones que salían tres, bueno, no sé cuántos salieron, tres, cuatro. Me costó la barbaridad. Y hoy vamos a seguir con esta historia principal después de la tormenta. Tenemos que hablar con Solas, Dabrin y Lucanis, pero también vamos a ver el mapa un momentito. Tenemos a Bellara, bueno, tenemos que hablar con todos. Neve, bueno, aquí hay que hablar con todos. Así que, mira, ya que estamos, iremos a ver a la Bellara. Lo tenemos aquí.
Lucanis? Are you in here brooding?
I'm fine.
That's not a no.
I had her. She should have never gotten away from me. This was our contract, Rook. I don't fail my contracts.
Venga, va.
Just think how much more satisfying it'll be when you do take her down.
We cannot count on a second shot. I thought I still had this. Even with Treviso suffering, I thought I could still focus on what mattered. I need to work.
Nuestros enemigos son dioses, hombre.
Gillenane was a giant face in the clouds, Lucanis. I asked you to stab a cloud.
And I missed the damn cloud.
My point is, that was impossible and you still almost did it. That's not small.
Claro que sí, tío.
I was distracted. That cannot happen again. I need to get my head on straight.
Whatever you need to do.
Have you been to talk to the others? Davrin, especially. I think everyone might have things to deal with now. It's been too long since I checked in with Viago. I should find out if things in Treviso are stable. If I need to return there, I'll let you know. I won't miss another chance to make things right. Nev, that coffee in the kitchen, you made it?
Keen eye.
Did you boil it? If so, why?
I'm not picky. I got a cup and it does the job. That's all I ask.
I don't know where to go with this.
El estilo de veterano.
Maybe that's how it's done in Minrathous.
Oh no. Give Lucanis credit. It's terrible.
You need a stronger word for terrible.
So what's the coffee for?
I've been looking into the threads.
The Minrathous crime syndicate.
Yeah. Smuggling, extortion, protection rackets. The threads have fingers in the lot. They stay out of slavery and they're decent about the rest, but something stirred them up. They've increased activity, changed their patterns. Docktown's in chaos. Remember Alec, the thread-selling charms? He wants to talk, and he doesn't reach out for nothing.
Vale, nos vamos, ¿no?
All right, let's head to Minrathous.
I'm not looking to drag you into this.
Hey, I'm walking in, both eyes open.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
If you need more coffee, I'll make it.
Well now, is that sweet or trying to save me from myself?
Let's call it
Para
both.
café porque va a hacer café de mi padre.
Davrin? Davrin, about Weishaupt.
¿Estás bien, tío?
Just wanted to make sure you're okay after.
I wouldn't say that, no. That's Renaud. Malmont. Anya. We used to argue. Who would be the one to take an archdemon down? Who would die so that others could live? Not sure any of us believed it'd actually happen.
When the moment came, you did the Wardens proud.
Did I? Because I'm still here. They're not.
Son héroes, tío.
There's no getting them back. But at least they died heroes.
And I should have joined them. A Grey Warden kills an archdemon, they're supposed to die.
Who knows what happened? Maybe the gods changed things and the old rules don't apply. Why is being alive a problem?
Because I didn't expect to be here. Grey Wardens have an expiration. It pushed me.
There's more fight to go.
And if we manage to pull that off?
You'll do what you do best. Hunt monsters.
Plenty of people can do that. I'm talking purpose. I feel like a blade sharpened all these years to confront the worst darkness in the world. And my blade struck true at Weishaupt. What now?
Well, you'll raise a sun to create a world where the light outshines the darkness.
Yeah? Well, let me tell you. That will require a lot more gingerwort truffles.
Estás solo, tío.
If you want company, I'll be there.
I was kind of hoping you'd say that.
Just kinda.
Well, I'm not that easy to catch.
Hey, I know a griffin. He'll hunt you down.
Oh, you're in on this too, boy?
I don't think you're ever shaking him loose.
I can live with that.
While you sort that out, maybe you and Acarnis can try to bury the hatchet.
Yeah,
He had a rough time of it too.
I know. That was an incredible shot he took at Gillinane.
Then tell him that. Because fighting each other won't help us defeat the gods.
But we've got help. The Wardens, Shadow Dragons, Crows, Veil Jumpers, we're all in this together.
We are. But they've all got their own problems. If we want their help, we have to help them first.
Is that a plan I hear forming?
I think it could be. Thanks, Davrin.
Thanks. Grazie.
Any luck tracking down your mystery friend?
Orzammar has requested I stop harassing their citizens with my talk of dwarven magic.
Yep.
Damn, that's a disappointment.
Well, I'm not gonna find my answers in Orzammar. My contacts had no idea what I was talking about.
So, what now?
I was thinking, the voice said look to those closest to the stone. What if she never meant Orzammar?
Huh?
There is another great tide, the original capital of the dwarves, Kalsharak. It was lost during the First Blight, and its people survived in isolation for hundreds of years. They re-emerged, some 20 years ago?
And you think they're closest to the stone?
Orzammar can't help. What have I got to lose?
I'm curious about Kalsharak's isolation.
The dwarves took heavy losses during the First Blight. To stop the Darkspawn from overrunning them, they closed off passages in the deep roads. Those that could retreated to Orzammar. Kalsharak was lost. They abandoned the city and its people, sealed them away with the Darkspawn.
Terrible.
There must have been another way. What they did was monstrous.
Can you imagine being trapped, knowing death was coming?
But they didn't die. The rumors.
That the dwarves of Kalsharak had to change to survive? No one's really sure what that means exactly.
When we find them, you can ask.
Vamos a ver. Con este.
Are you sure Orzammar isn't hiding something?
Pressing them for information would be tricky. I could anger someone important. If Kalsharak doesn't turn out, I can go back to poking at Orzammar. But not before then.
¿Qué hacemos?
How do we get in touch with these Kalsharak dwarves?
Already working on it. You don't spend 10 years in the Inquisition without making contacts. I should have a meeting set up by the time we're ready to leave.
I cannot say.
Who created you?
I cannot say.
What can you say?
I cannot say.
Right. Deserve that.
Got the archive spirit working, I see.
Rook, you're here. And I did, sort of. A little bit. It appears, but it won't tell me anything.
You simply ask the wrong questions. A common affliction of the weak-minded.
Also that, it's kind of mean.
Esta.
You should remind that thing who's in charge.
That's an idea. Syrian learned a lot, taught me a lot about these archives. They have, well, not thoughts like us, but sort of pathways, I guess. They can only respond to specific questions worded in specific ways. So, if you're powerful, like almost God-level powerful, how would you talk to someone you see as lesser?
Oh. De forma contundente. Porque mando yo.
Probably just tell them what to do.
Right. Don't waste time on them, just get to the point. Let's try it. Archive, tell me who built you.
One of the greatest of Elvenan, a steward of her glory. Truly, I was blessed to bathe in his warmth. Anaris built me, and to him I shall someday return.
You mean the Forgotten One?
I cannot say.
Good point. It came later.
No sé qué es.
What do you mean by it came later?
Oh, I meant later after Elvenon fell. We didn't call them the Forgotten Ones till after that. They were the bad gods. Disease, pestilence, weren't supposed to speak their names. Not like the good gods, you know, Elgernon, Gillenane. But now we know the truth about the Evanuris. So we don't know for sure what the Forgotten Ones were, I mean. They used to say Solus was one, so best case scenario, like him. Worst case, well, you heard it talk.
Right. So this thing's dangerous if it belonged to one of them.
Could be, but still important and invaluable. Everything Anaris knew, this thing knows, and my people deserve to know. If I can get it to tell me.
Oh, pregunta por sus.
Archive, tell me about the Dreadwolf.
An ideologue and a fool who will soon pay the price. When Anaris dispatches the Evanuris, he will spare a thought for Fenharel.
Hay que investigar,
Archive,
tío.
tell me about the Evanuris.
A group of cowards hiding behind their more powerful magic and superior numbers. Their jealousy of Anaris was palpable. Their war is unending. But Anaris will prevail.
You have a chance to learn more about your people. Go for it. Just be careful. And try not to break anything.
Right. Thanks, Rook.
All thanks must be given to Anaris, for he will cast down the oppressive Evanuris and take his rightful place.
What a shame I can't stay longer. Good luck.
Appreciate the support.
Ah,
Rook, interested in visiting the Memorial Gardens?
What are you up to?
I must tend to some rites in the necropolis. I'd like to show you its more peaceful side.
Hey, am I interrupting?
Done in a sec. Morning ritual. The Darsam.
Those are the ropes people who follow the Cune wear.
We bind ourselves to remember who we are. Tie down the stuff that's too dangerous to leave loose. My mother made me do it every morning before breakfast. I had big fingers. Used to take me forever. Evitash. Shokotoebra. Only a beast is confounded by knots. A girl masters herself and the Darsa.
Esta.
Sounds like your mother was hard on you.
Nah.
I think your fingers are just perfect.
Yeah. So... Are you trying to have sex with me?
Hadn't really thought that far ahead, but maybe?
Quick, think about us having sex.
Ojo, eh?
So now we need to figure out if it's cash lock or Tom lock.
And those are...
Cash lock's just flirting. You look and make jokes and maybe think about him for fun. Tom lock is serious. Like you want to grab that and taste its neck right by the collarbone. So which is it?
Huh. Me has olido.
Did you just smell me?
Yeah?
You can smell when someone is...
I have a really good sense of smell. Comes with the dragon stuff.
Well...
You still haven't answered the question.
So which one was serious? There was something about tasting the neck.
Tom lock.
That's maybe where I'm at.
Good. Me too.
Ahora de esto.
Remember your argument with Nev about not feeling right as a woman?
Yeah? I spoke with some of Nev's friends in the Shadow Dragons.
I went through something similar. I grew up with the world telling me this was what a man was and this what a woman was. But I eventually realized I didn't fit into those boxes. I didn't feel like a man or a woman.
Right. Nev's friends said some people are like that. But why tell me now?
I wanted you to know before we did anything.
Shut up. You're fine. I just said it was Tom lock. We'll figure out what works as we go.
This may be the shortest version of this conversation I have ever had. Okay? What now?
Usually I'd pin you to the wall, but we work together. It's weird.
Uy.
Rook, Tosh, glad I caught you both. The Grey Wardens found a cave that one of the Blighted Dragons uses as its lair.
Where?
In the Husberg wetlands. There's no sign of the dragon itself, though.
I should check it out. We need to know how different the Blighted Dragons really are. They might turn into something like Gillineane's archdemon did. If there's a clue, I have to be ready.
Joder. Pues nada, Julio, que Tash nos ha puesto aquí que nos quería violar, tío. Le he dicho que... no me siento ni hombre ni mujer. Casi.
You cannot do this, Algernon. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evenuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
Vale. Bien.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dreadwolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods. Well, mine and Davrin's.
Can't be easy, Blara.
It was so mundane. Nothing grand or cosmic. No setting fire to the sun, just talking, politics. I wish they were monsters. Something grand and terrible. Seeing them like that, they're no better than Tevinter nobles.
But no worse, either. They were people. And people can let you down.
All right. What else can we take from this memory?
Elgranon was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solus, furious at Elganon's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solus were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgranon over him. A betrayal.
Normal que se enfadara.
It sounded like Solus was loyal to Mythal. What did Elganon call him? Mythal's lapdog? And then she grabs power alongside Elganon instead of standing for her principles. I'd be angry too.
Angry enough to start a rebellion?
That's not how he'd see it. He didn't destroy the world. Elganon did. Solus did what he considered necessary to stop him.
Solus would try to justify what he did, but he'd also blame himself for what happened.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solus wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solus? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dread Wolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solus would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change. Let's ask Myrna and Vorgoth about these hauntings.
Emmerich was worried about displaced wisps too.
Por cierto, ¿cómo va? Estabas haciendo directito ahora, ¿no? Vale, vamos, no sé con quién iré, con Emmerich y otro personaje, ¿no? Supongo. A ver qué pasa.
Thank you again for coming. My duties include tending to these rites of remembrance. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
Ah, que dice Javi, demasiado morado los menús de este juego, ¿no? Si estuve con generación 0, sí, yo lo vi. Y cambié a ese, que hubiera pasado así, que es operación menús muy lilas, ¿no? Tiene esto. Bah, me da igual los colores. A ver, ahora son una advertencia. No hay que vagar demasiado por tristeza. Hay que vivir con gracia y fervor mientras se pueda. Sigue siendo un poco... ¡Qué buen rollo! ¡Qué buen rollo!
It's not what I'm getting.
You don't care for it?
It's a bunch of posing skeletons.
That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Seems disrespectful to abandon something you built.
Precisely. No wonder there's been an uptick in hauntings.
Vaya friki este Emmerich, ¿eh?
Let's continue.
So, what now?
El
We light
nigromante.
candles in remembrance of the dead. Would you care to light the candle, Rook?
Venga, vamos a encender la velita. Chun.
Look at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon. Surprised there was enough to bury.
How
ver, dice
interesting that the
el Javi
necropolis
me
moved these
recuerda a
gardens so far below.
Sigurd de
So,
Oblivion.
the necropolis actually
Hostia, pues eso no
shuffles
sé
its
quién
rooms
es.
around.
From time to time. Very unlikely to happen while we're inside a
El Isaac se
chamber.
ríe. Wow, sigue Enrich. Vamos a correr, vale.
Could you light the next candle?
Vamos a encender la siguiente vela. A ver qué pasa aquí. Es el del barrio Sésamo, el vampiro. ¿Eh?
Aha! One of my favorite flowers.
Los
A
teleñecos, ¿eh?
variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants?
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
Right. Just on the side.
This way, Rook.
¿No recuerda al
Right about the
vampiro
gardens being
de,
peaceful.
del barrio
The
Sésamo?
necropolis has its dangers, but these places are a refuge for the dead.
Mirarlo.
How many people are buried here anyway?
Y se para.
Excellent question. We rarely should take a new
Está
census.
concentrado con sus esqueletos.
You'll need to light these candles as well.
Míralo. Eso no. Sí, sí, sí. No lo pondré. Como ya.
Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages. I was pleasantly surprised by your respect for our undead tableau earlier, Rook. I'm beginning to think people outside Navarra find the necropolis a little unnerving.
Well, veil jumpers appreciate the importance of history.
The spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me.
Venga, vamos a encender más velitas. Rich, tío.
Ah, look here.
Todo de Harry Potter. Hola.
Hi. Should I say hi?
It's curious about you. We're also enjoying the gardens, but with one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Sí, fueron tus padres, tío.
Belated condolences, if that's worth anything.
Always. We move on, as we must, but those long nights linger about the shadows.
How did you deal with it?
I didn't. When I first arrived here, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me.
Ah,
Come, the next set of
Amigo mío.
graves lies ahead.
por eso es tan friki de los espíritus. Venga, Enrich. Tiene esqueletos por todas bandas trabajando.
Please, light the next candles if you would.
Otra vela. Venga. Prender fuego.
There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
And some death magic?
Well, every young mage needs a speciality.
Venga, tenemos. Perfecto. Suá.
All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom
Todos tan
and its
pompa.
rites. I ask you, Rook, what is
Todos
it
tan
for?
pompa.
It's gotta be the living, right?
Yes, exactly, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before. We must get to the candle, please, Manfred.
You told Harding that Manfred used to be a wisp until you gave him a body.
Yes.
Oh.
He's taken so well to it. Haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light.
Esto. Ya. He visto algo yo.
Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell.
Venga, va. Vamos a tocar la campana esta. Vamos. Dale, dale. Bravo. Ahora, ¿qué pasa?
Let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed. We honor the listening spirits.
Vale. Coño.
Hail from the abyss.
Witness, good watcher. Faith kept in all our paths.
What was...
The necropolis hosts many spirits. We thank these guardians for their protection and friendship. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
Va, toca la campana otra vez. Dale, dale, Henrich. Dale la campana. Pues que vaya. Y vas porque pasará algo, ¿no? A ver, ¿qué saldrá ahora? Ojo. Ojo.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
Claro.
Hasn't everyone from time to time?
When I was younger, it happened more often than that. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying. It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered.
Ya. Ya tenemos el café hecho.
Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of host would I be if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
Va. O sea.
Well, if Manfred's excited, how can I refuse?
Toma café.
Cheers, Manfred.
¡Ey! Nada. Colega esqueleto. Con la cuchilla. Clic, 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 clic. ¡Ole! Misión completada. Muy bien. Tenemos una misión más de nuestras camaradas. Mira, un artilugio más. Perfecto. Perfecto. Bueno, pues muchas gracias a todos. Y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo, ¿vale? ¡Hala! ¡Chau, chau!